My eyes nearly fell out of my head that night. I'd gone to Gale's alone, intending nothing more than a quiet dinner and a glass of wine to soften the weight of disappointment. Our third wedding anniversary, and I was supposed to be there. With my wife, a night meant to celebrate everything we'd built, what I thought we had. But an hour before the reservation, she sent a casual text. Work dropped a nightmare project on me. I can't get away. Rain check? No apologies. No regret. Just a shrug in text form. I didn't fight her on it. I simply went anyway, maybe for comfort, maybe to hold on to something like how this was the place I first asked her to be mine. The place where I proposed under soft golden lighting. I asked for a booth in the back. Some were quiet. Some were a private fate with its sharp sense of irony. Seated me just beside the wreckage of my life at the next table, two men were laughing too loud for the intimacy of the restaurant. One of them, his voice unmistakable, was bragging. She's a total bombshell. First time I nailed her was on her wedding day, right under her clueless husband's nose. My fork stopped midair. My blood turned to ice. Because the voice wasn't just familiar, it belonged to Travis, my best man. The man who toasted our marriage that day with tears in his eyes and pride in his voice. The same man who had handed me the ring I placed on her trembling finger. Now here he was, bragging about betting a married woman. And not just any woman mine. The tablecloth blurred in my vision. I sat there frozen, swallowing back a hurricane while he chuckled, reliving the triumph of betrayal like it was just another notch in his belt. What gutted me wasn't just the act, but the careless way he recounted it, like I was some faceless idiot, a background character in their dirty little secret. And the cruelest part, they didn't even bother to lower their voices. I wasn't meant to be there. That night was supposed to be a celebration. But instead, by some twist of cruel providence, I stumbled straight into the truth. Betrayal doesn't always explode, it seeps in slow like a gas leak. A glance too long, a smile too measured, a lie too smooth. I hadn't seen it then, not at the wedding. Not in the aftermath. Our wedding had seemed perfect. The crisp November air, the late afternoon sun pouring through stained glass windows. Her in that ivory lace gown that made everyone whisper how lucky I was. Even Travis had looked me in the eye before the ceremony and clapped me on the back with a smile that I now knew meant something else. You made it, man. Finally locking it down. What I didn't know was that while I was shaking hands and laughing with guests while she was in the bridal suite getting her hair touched up, she was also undressing just 10 feet away from me with him. Later that night, she told me she was tired. Champagne and nerves, she said. She curled into bed and whispered that she just needed sleep. I didn't question it. Why would I? I thought we had forever, but forever had been stolen from me. That very afternoon by the man who stood beside me at the altar. Back at Gale's, I left without finishing my meal. My hands trembled, not from rage, not yet, but with the weight of truth finally stepping out of the shadows. I didn't go home. Didn't call her. Didn't cry. I went to the only place betrayal couldn't hide, the past. I dug out the unedited digital wedding album raw footage. Behind the scenes candids our photographer had uploaded but never curated. That's where I found it photo. 167, Travis, standing far too close behind her, his hand low on her back, whispering something into her ear while she laughed. Her face turned half away from the lens, but there was something too intimate in the way their bodies leaned into each other. I checked the TIMESTAMP.I. Still had the venue coordinator's contact info, so I sent a polite email pretending I needed hallway camera timestamps for an anniversary slideshow. The reply came quickly. Travis entered the hallway near the bridal prep room at 2:43 p.m. He exited at 3:05 p.m. The ceremony began at 3:15, 12. Minutes. 12 minutes no one had ever accounted for. A month after the wedding, he left town. Just like that. Said he had a job offer in Denver, and she stopped texting him. No calls, no visits, silence for years. It always felt strange, like a secret buried too neatly. I remembered the old phone she replaced last winter. Dug it out from the back of the closet and scrolled through the message cache. Most conversations had been deleted, but one image remained, one stupid, careless photo, a reflection. Travis in a hotel bathroom mirror, dated the day of our wedding. That's when the truth crushed me completely. This hadn't been a moment of drunken weakness. It wasn't passion or confusion. It was a choreographed performance, a betrayal so precise it could have been rehearsed. And I played the fool, smiling for photos, laughing with cake on my face. That night, I stared into my own reflection, not to see myself, but to say goodbye to the man who let it happen. Tomorrow, a different man would wake up. One who wasn't there to forgive. One who understood that silence wasn't peace, it was strategy. The next evening, I came home with roses. Her favorite color. She looked up from the couch, surprised. For me, of course, I said gently. I missed you last night. I saw just a flicker, that subtle guilt behind her eyes. The kind liars show when they think they've gotten away with it. I leaned in and kissed her cheek. I booked us a weekend trip, a little coastal place to unwind, just us. She lit up, completely unaware she was walking into the slow unraveling of everything she thought she controlled. The next 10 days, I played the doting husband. Made breakfast, left sweet notes, watched shows I didn't care about. Meanwhile, I redirected our finances, rerouted our paychecks, opened new accounts in my name only. I canceled our joint cards, gathered all documents she'd ever signed, mortgage, insurance, everything. I wasn't preparing for a fight. I was writing her surrender. One night while she showered, I left her iPad open on the counter, paused on a women's forum titled, "Is it cheating if it was before the reception?" 12 minutes later, I heard her footsteps pause. "You read this?" she asked, trying to sound casual. I shrugged. "Just some random thread. Weird, huh?" She nodded too quickly. "Yeah, stupid stuff." Doubt is the quietest leash you can put on a liar. And hers had just tightened. The final act came at the coastal rental. A cliffside Airbnb, seagulls overhead, wind in the curtains. On the last night, as the sun bled into the sea, I brought it up. "I've been thinking," I said softly, "about us, about honesty, about second chances." She looked up, hopeful. I reached into my bag and pulled out a small box, not a ring, a USB drive. "Proof," I said, "of what I already know." The color drained from her face. Her hands froze in her lap. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I simply gave her two options. One, I file for divorce, go public, and send her employer a full timeline of her affair starting with our wedding day. Or two, she walks away, quietly, no fight. No claim to the house, the car, the marriage. Nothing. She said nothing. Just stared at the waves as if they might rise and drag her away. "I'm not here to ruin you," I said finally. "You already did that yourself." The next morning, she packed in silence. She left her keys, her car, her name on the house. Every illusion of control she'd once clung to. Word spread fast. Travis messaged me, "Hey, ma'am, long time. Hope you're good. Can we talk?" I ignored him. 3 more texts came, then an email. I forwarded it, along with the hotel mirror selfie, to HR at his company. 2 days later, I got a LinkedIn alert. Travis was open to work. She tried to spin it. Told mutual friends we grew apart. But once Travis's name was linked, sympathy vanished like smoke. Even her best friend, the one who sobbed at our wedding, texted me, I had no idea. She always said you were perfect. She didn't want perfect, I replied. She wanted a better mirror. The divorce was clean, uncontested. She didn't want to risk court. She knew what I had. She walked away with nothing but a storage unit and a ruined reputation. I kept the house, the peace, and a future not built on lies. As for Travis, I heard he'd moved out of state, quietly, alone, unemployed. I hope. Every mirror he passes reminds him of the one he stood in front of that day, grinning like he'd won. They always think the quiet ones will break, that the loyal will fold, that the kind are easy to manipulate, but they forget what silence becomes when. Sharpen. Not forgiveness. Precision. It. Single quotes. It's been over a year. I changed the locks, repainted the walls, bought new furniture. There's more space now. Not in square. Footage. In truth. No lies humming under the floorboards. No tension sewn into the pillows. No ghost of laughter that once masked betrayal. She emailed me once. Subject line, I wish we could have talked. I never opened it, not out of spite, but because I was finished. Some stories don't deserve to be reread. Some people don't deserve closure, only consequence.